Hi guys, Squirrel here. You may know this guy. He's been following the YouTube Pubstar Tournament guys around, of which obviously I'm one of them. And he's a hacker. And he used to be called something like Fick Me I'm Famous and has renamed himself to whatever that says. I can't even pronounce that. He was following me into a game yesterday and he was hacking and there's a huge kill feed. Tonight I was literally in a game in Seine Crossing and yet again he joined us. As you can see, so I'm just going to zoom in on the chat here. We started this game and he just started, raping through the kill feed as he does. And I started saying people, don't spawn because he's just going to kill you. But people carried on spawning for some stupid reason. But anyway, the reason I've posted this video is because rather than I thought to myself, okay, I can just quit this server because obviously an admin isn't going to show up. I could just quit this server, or I could stay here, wait for an admin, because if I jump in another server, I'm going to get the same thing. He's just going to follow me from server to server until I find something with an admin that can kick him. Unfortunately, Battlelog being as it is right now, with no privacy settings, it's very easy for this guy to look one of us up on Battlelog and literally just see what server we're playing in and jump into that server. Now, because his account is currently not banned, he's free to play and he's free to follow us around. There's nothing we can do. There's no privacy settings I can enable. He's not on my friends list or anything. But I can't stop him following me into a server. He's been harassing a lot of the other YouTube guys, particularly the Pubstar guys. So I thought I'd stay in here, and we ended up striking up a conversation. And I think the conversation was interesting enough for me to post this video. Not that I want to make this guy famous, because obviously I don't want to make hackers famous, but I thought that it was interesting because of his motivations. I had a conversation, as you'll see in a minute, with him. Because what I want to know is why is he doing it? I mean, I know that's always the question is, why do you do this, guy? People are saying, oh, it's because he just wants to pwn people. Well, it can't be, seriously, because he's having to spend a lot of time just following us all around and pissing us off. Now, obviously, he gets banned out of servers and he can't come back in. People are saying, oh, I'm going to report his profile. But the problem with that is all that actually happens when you report somebody's profile is DICE or EA, whoever the admins are. There you go, report this faggot, is saying. All that happens, there you go, as he's saying there, report can only stats wipe. I'm sorry. He's actually apologising here, which is interesting. So people are reporting this guy and DICE EA are just wiping his stats. They're not actually banning him because the only thing that can ban him is a Punkbuster ban. Now, I don't know what the procedure is to get somebody actually banned, and I don't know if DICE and EA have to go through certain processes to get somebody Punkbuster banned. But it's not happened yet, and this guy has been, trolling people and hacking for quite a while now. I mean, at least a week? At least a week, maybe 2 weeks, I'm not sure. So why is he doing it? Well, that's the interesting bit, that if you keep watching the chat, we're going to get to that in a second. But it seems that this guy's motivation, and now obviously I don't know if this guy is straight up with me. I can only assume he is. I'm going to take him as being straight up with me. But it seems that this guy's motivation is not what you might think. He appears to be doing this because he's a Battlefield player and he likes the YouTube Pubstars, he likes Battlefield, he likes the YouTubers. So why is he doing it? He's doing it because he's pissed off with DICE and EA. Now, if that's true, that sounds very Robin Hood, doesn't it? He's actually one of us, if you like, the players, but he's got himself a new Origin account. He's managed to hack it, and I asked him did he actually write the hack himself? He says no, which is also slightly worrying in itself because it means that hack exists and other people are able to get it and do what he's doing. But I think if you take him at face value, what he's doing, and there you go, he starts to mention what Pwnstar did to get DICE's attention. That's one part of what he's doing. But what he's trying to say is he's pissed off with DICE, he's pissed off with EA, and he's sick of hackers in the game. And the only way he knows how to get DICE and EA to actually sort this out is to create another hacked Origin account. And as I'm asking him there, you trying to prove a point. And that's what he's saying he's doing. Now, as I say, I honestly don't know if he's just trying to wind me up, if he's just telling me what I want to hear. But my thought is that he's not wasting his time, but he's actually having to go around games and do what he's doing. And I honestly can't believe there's an awful lot of fun in him doing what he's doing. You imagine you're a hacker, you get this game, you put the hack in, you walk onto a server, and everybody around you starts dying. Now, at first that might be a bit of fun. You might think, haha, this is hilarious. I'll put some videos on YouTube. People will get mad. I'll think it's hilarious. How long are you going to do that? Realistically, days? I mean, at some point, it's just going to be very, very samey. So, okay, you escalate it. You start going around and say, I'm going to start pissing off some YouTube pub stars. All right, you're probably going to get infamous, not famous. You're going to get infamous for doing that. And he's already pissing people off. He's trolled D-Crew Colin quite a lot. Colin's pretty annoyed with it. And all the pub stars are ducking for cover. They're all having to get onto servers that have got admins on so that they can, ban him, meta ban him, as it were, as it's called. Ban him off the server by his Punkbuster ID. But where does he go from there? What's he actually trying to achieve? That's what I was interested in, and that's why I started to ask him these questions. Now, in a minute, I actually managed to appeal to his sense of reasoning, which is interesting because once I say to him, look, it's all very well what you're doing. You're making this point. You've got a hack. You're pissing people off. But just think about what you're doing for a second. We have reported it to DICE. The YouTubers are pissed off with it. We've all hit DICE up with the problems. We've said, for God's sake, ban this guy. For God's sake, fix the problems. That's a different thing. But we can't physically do any more. So all you're actually doing is pissing off the YouTubers like me who are trying to promote the game that you say you love. And if you've got any respect for us, any respect for me as a YouTube Battlefield player, then why don't you leave us alone? You've made your point. We've done what we can. We've made as much noise as we can. But pretty much we can't do any more. So actually all you're doing is wasting your time and pissing us off. Now, obviously, if DICE say they're working on a Battlelog privacy setting, they say it's going to take a bit of time because they've got to make some back-end changes. Fair enough. It's going to take a bit of time. It'll happen. And he won't be able to do this, certainly to people like me, because he won't be able to follow me into the game. That's not to say he can't go and look at my friends list and follow people who are on my friends list into the game, unless the privacy settings block that as well. But we'll have to see what DICE come up with. But there you go. He's saying here he's going to go back to his usual account. Everybody been enjoying the game. So what he's basically saying is, once this problem has been fixed, once this hole has been closed, once there's no way of hacking, I think is what he's saying, then he's going to go back and enjoy the game. What's his motivation here? Is it because he was himself the victim of a hack? Is he himself getting trolled? Is he a YouTuber? This raises some really interesting questions. Is this guy a big Battlefield player himself? And he's so pissed off with being hacked that he's decided to get himself a hacked Origin account and play the game just to get attention with DICE. I don't know. He could be a nobody and he's just desperate, and this is the only way he knows how to get attention. He's certainly getting a lot of attention, there's no doubt about that. Unfortunately, the usual story from DICE is, yes, we're aware of a problem, yes, we're looking into it, blah, blah, blah. But there you go, this is where I've appealed to his sense of reasoning, which is good to know he actually has one. He's agreed with me that if he respects us for promoting the game, then he's not actually helping us anymore. He's not. He seriously isn't, because he's just making us run for cover. And ultimately, if DICE don't do anything about the problem, the hack, then people like me are going to be forced to, if we can't find servers with admins, we're going to have to stop playing. We're going to play it less, we're going to post videos less, and is that going to help the game that he likes? No, that's effectively going to kill it off. So he has to come to a point where he says to himself, as he says there, you're a mature guy to actually ask me why. Fair enough, I asked him why. He's making his point. But he's going to come to a point where he's only being destructive. You can almost sympathise with his position in that he feels desperate in doing this. I don't agree with what he's doing at all. But I can understand his position. And that's an interesting thing. And he can now understand mine. He says, okay, bud, but leave me alone. I get you. I'm with you on this. DICE need to sort this out. But honestly, you're just being destructive now. So back off. And I hope he does. I hope he backs off for a few days, maybe a week. Give DICE time to have a look at this. We're all as pissed off as you are. If you're watching this video, we are as pissed off as you are. But you've got to stop because we've done all we can. We've got to give DICE some breathing room now, and hopefully they'll sort the problem out before the next DLC, I would say, and maybe roll it out with the whole patch. Maybe that's what the plan is. I don't know. But at least he managed to, there you go, at least one of you understand his position. I guess I must be the first one to ask him what his motivation is, enough for him to answer. He then left the game. I then continued in another game, and he left me alone. How long that will continue, I don't know. Whether he's gone off to go and troll some more YouTubers, I don't know. But I thought it was interesting to post this video because you don't often get to communicate with a hacker in this way, or even communicate with a reasonable hacker. So who knows where this is going to go, but yeah, hopefully DICE will fix this. And yeah, that was me. Time for me to change server. Take care, guys. See you soon.